Okay, it has been a brilliant batting performance by the India men's cricket team in the opening T20I against Sri Lanka. They have gone on to score 213 for 7, and once again, as I was telling Siddharth Vishwanathan a few minutes back before the live, that the template has continued. India's T20I template that was witnessed in their title-winning campaign at the 2024 T20 World Cup. They have gone on to once again pile on the runs by not looking at the personal milestones, and if we go through the scorecard also, I think it was much a
If you look at how they were, going, Yashasvi Jaiswal and Shubman Gill. Yashasvi Jaiswal had at least scored about 90% of the runs in the first 3 overs. Shubman Gill was playing second fiddle. Once Shubman Gill decided to go bonkers, then in the power play it just went crazy. 6 overs, 74. But then Shubman Gill fell and immediately Yashasvi Jaiswal fell. You thought that okay, maybe India would slow down, but no. Suryakumar Yadav, his 360 degree, and ensured that he hit 58 of 26, 223 strike rate. Pawan is going to get into serious trouble.
Yeah, seriously.
He's walking on thin ice at this point in time.
Earlier I was walking on thin ice, then now he is walking on thin ice.
He will be walking on thin ice.
With you, everyone is walking on thin ice.
Because he came late today, Pawan. That is the thing.
No, but definitely I feel that the momentum that we had in the during the World Cup, I think you're trying to go a notch above that. You know that things, the T20 format and the things in T20 format, it's just going to get better and better moving ahead. If today 200, now 210 is the new 200, so the team knows that and they're sort of, moving with the curve now, which wasn't the case a few years prior. So I definitely feel that the mindset that the team has, that is being carried forward. You specifically mentioned 2 wickets content back-to-back 2 wickets for the Indian team, but the momentum continued. And when in a team, Rishabh Pant is somebody who has mostly played the second fiddle, that clearly in itself shows that how the other players are playing.
True. Exactly. You look at the template as I was talking about at the beginning of this live, that irrespective of the openers, no one's batting position is confirmed. So if a lefty gets out, then you can be rest assured that Rishabh Pant would come in at 3, and if in this case, Shubman Gill was the first wicket to fall for India, and as expected we had the newly appointed T20I skipper Suryakumar Yadav, who came in at number 3. So I think overall it's been once again a very complete performance, as it can be said. Sri Lanka, I think they have pretty much been very they have been toothless.
Why are you being polite? They were abysmal. Look at the number of catches that they dropped.
Misfielding,
misfielding, and everything happened. I mean, look at it. Dilshan Madhushanka already was taken to the cleaners. Asita Fernando, okay, he bowled a good last over, barring that last ball which he was hit for a 6.
And Matisha Patirana, no matter, he picked up those 4 wickets, but then how, I think he wasn't really consistent with his line and lengths. He got a few wides also. I think 3 wides he bowled in total.
Oh, that is less. Patirana, with this kind of action, he can go for at least double the number of wides.
No, Pawan, it has happened. It has happened
CSK,
before.
Why do you think that we were all praying that, okay, any CSK fan will be praying that when Patirana bowls, because for his action, he kind of leaks it through the offside and to the leg side also, and it was a hard work for Dhoni.
But don't you think that also somewhat shows you that isn't his natural angle? Because if somebody has that as a natural angle, I think the control shouldn't be an issue. But do you think that has something to do with sort of copying Lasith Malinga, and that's why going for that angle?
It is copying Malinga. I'll tell you what. See,
I don't think so.
That's why I feel the accuracy is an issue.
See, the problem is his head falls way down if you look at it.
Yeah.
The kind of action Malinga would at least be straight on.
Yeah, his head would used to be straight.
Even Tushara is like that. Nuwan Tushara, but because Tushara is not in the series because of a broken finger, this is the main reason why that Patirana, if you had Patirana, Tushara, you would at least get control from one of them.
Yeah.
Tushara almost got a hat-trick in that World Cup versus Bangladesh. Or did he get a hat-trick?
He's already got a hat-trick against Bangladesh.
Yeah, but
5 for 20.
Yeah, but it was in that ODI, in that series in Bangladesh.
That was in March, basically. So overall, I think it's obviously about the control, as we have pretty much talked about, that the Sri Lankan bowlers pretty much lagged. But then I think talking about India's batting show once again, I think they have really been, they've stepped up, obviously, as and when required. This new team, I think what it probably goes on to show is that irrespective of the result of this match, I think they're going to persevere persist with the same 11 probably for the next two T20s also, okay, there can be an argument that you might field a different team or a couple of different players tomorrow because the matches are back to back. But I think you can probably expect those 11 to 13 players to play pretty much consistently, unless, you know, obviously there's a tour where a Jaiswal or a Gill will have to will not be available.
But don't you think you might just see in a Washington Sundar in place of Riyan Parag? I think that's the only change you might see, because I think it would be Washington Sundar who would be starting for India's future plan of things also. I think he's ahead of Riyan Parag, and I think both of them are fighting for sort of
the problem is
I would feel is that, you know, the next T20 World Cup is going to be held in India and Sri Lanka. Na? So unless you are obviously going to prepare yourself for those spinning tracks, Washington Sundar is the favorite. But going ahead, I think if Riyan Parag doesn't do well in this series, then expect Nitish Reddy to replace him. Because then you would want more all-rounders, and something that Rohit Sharma is.
But you already have a Shivam Dube who wouldn't make the cut, because he'll play only if Hardik Pandya is there.
Why would you want to complicate matters by getting Nitish Reddy?
Yeah. Because it's not about complicating matters, it's about just sticking to the template that they have said, okay, we want as many all-rounders in our setup.
But Riyan Parag at this point in time, if you look at it, see, he's had 3 opportunities now, he's failed all 3, okay? But now the problem with Riyan Parag is you're batted too low the order.
Yeah.
He got promotion but ahead of a Rinku Singh. You're actually not playing well with Rinku and Riyan Parag if you look at it. Why was Rinku demoted before Parag? Either Rinku gets a promotion and Parag, as usual, is unlucky, doesn't get that many chances. Today was an ideal situation where you could have gotten a Riyan Parag in. But no, you don't want to, probably because Suryakumar Yadav was more likely to take up the attack.
True.
Second, there might be some criticism with the way how Rishabh Pant played, because initially his strike rate was not that high. 1-2 overs, he batted well. After that, he threw his wicket away. Okay, that was in the death overs. But I would say that there will be some criticism swirling around Pant's knock, because it looked very rusty. And again, he tried something, the bat flew out of his hand. He tried hitting it to the leg side.
Not the first time, not the last time. Definitely not the last time.
No, I think in the shortest format, Rishabh Pant sort of, tends to overdo things. I think if he just tries to be naturally what he is, I think naturally only is well sufficient to be part of the T20I side. It's just that because I think it's also the pressure he has on himself to do well, because the reputation he comes in with is that he should be doing great in T20, which he hasn't over the years. So I think that's the pressure he carries forward, then he tries to overdo stuff. If he just plays a natural game, a couple of days back I was seeing his test knock. The 100 he got in England. I just feel if he just plays that game naturally, that is more than enough for a T20I. If he plays that way in T20Is also, I think it's more than sufficient.
But I think somehow he's not been able to crack the T20I code. And yes, he did play a couple of crucial knocks in the T20 World Cup. But the criticism around his strike rate and all the other things, and because everybody is now pointing at 75 matches, just a strike rate of 120 and an average of 22. I think that will not go away with this knock. Sure, 49 of 33, it was decentish, but you all know how inflated it really was. That is a big thing. Sri Lanka, on the other hand, need 214 to win.
They do have a good batting. You have Kusal Mendes.
No, I somehow think their bowling was their stronger suit in this team.
It is.
But that has been taken to the cleaners. Now they're batting. They will need a special from Kusal Pereira and a Pathum Nissanka.
Yeah.
But I don't think that they have the capability. Kusal Pereira has also not been in good form. And Dinesh Chandimal, let us be very honest, it's not that same
He's
Dinesh
making
Chandimal,
a comeback,
which was in 2010.
Dasun Shanaka is also pretty much a very hit and miss player.
Exactly. Dasun Shanaka, I'm telling you, is a very odd case. So now the players are out on the field, but don't go anywhere, folks, because in 2-3 minutes time, we are back with a major Olympic build-up that's going to happen.
And we are going to give you some major updates relating to the badminton arena for the Indian contingent.
Exactly. So thank you so much.
And just 1 hour after that, the hockey update.
Yes.
So the action doesn't stop, and so doesn't our Sports Today lives and packages. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon, and until then,
subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis. Bye bye.